Very good morning to you. It's that time to get into the world of business here on Business Express, brought to you by InterSwitch. This is the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life. It is a brand new week, a brand new Monday, 13th of October 2025. Yours truly is Ayokunmi and I'm so glad to be here with you once again to walk you into a new week and, of course, everything that you have to get done this week. I'll be taking you on this journey all the way till 11. But for now, it's to walk into the business world and take a look at some very interesting developments. We're talking about a report concerning the agricultural sector. Well, just to give you some more insight, P.A.C Research in Nigeria has released a new report on Nigeria's agriculture sector with a particular focus on the ban for 6 months of shea nuts exports. Uh, that is something we definitely need to talk about. Anyways, joining me to take a look at this is Precious BAJOGUN. She is an investment research analyst with P.A.C Research. Very good morning to you, Precious. Great to have you on the show.
Good morning, Ayo. It's good to be here.
Great to have you. And for you out there listening to us, you can join us on this conversation. Send your messages into us on WhatsApp. Join us on YouTube as well. The WhatsApp number is 0911 999 0981. YouTube, you can find us streaming at Smooth 981 FM Lagos, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can leave your comments in the chat box there as well. All right, Precious, let's jump right into this discussion. Now, let's start with the government's rationale for the 6 month ban on the export of raw share nuts. I mean, can you give us some more insight into that one?
All right, thank you. The federal government's reason for the ban is very straightforward. Federal government wants Nigeria to stop being just a supplier of raw shea nuts and start earning real value by processing locally. So Nigeria produces about 35 to 40% of global shea nuts. And
Oh, well.
until now, we've captured less than just 1% of the $6.5 billion dollar global market. So the ban, which runs from September 2025 to February 2026, is meant to push investment into local processing. It is also meant to create jobs, especially for women who form about 90% of the workforce. And it's also meant to retain the foreign exchange that normally leaks out when we export raw produce. So yeah, it's a bold move. There's short-term pain, long-term gain. But yeah, it's meant to build a stronger, more valuable share industry for Nigeria.
Man, just listening to those numbers, I mean, 35 to 40% global production, but we're only tapping into what, less than 1%,
Less
you
than
actually said?
1%.
Which
Yes.
is ridiculous. I mean, you produce so much, but you're not making the best of. Wow. Okay. Okay. Looking at that, I mean, there have to be some bottlenecks that are, causing us to be where we are. So, what are those bottlenecks that are actually facing improved share production in the country? And is that 6 month window even enough to address all those issues?
So there are challenges, there are real barriers in the industry. We process less than 20% of what we produce. We have infrastructure problems, the power and the roads, they are very poor. The women, which like I said make up 90% of the workforce, of the share
Mm.
workforce, they struggle to access affordable credits, financing. And then there's also certification, quality certification is still weak.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the real bottlenecks. So 6 months is it's not enough to fix all of that. What that 6 months can do is cause a major disruption in the industry. It can also signal intent. It can attract investors. But beyond that 6 months, the government needs to complement it with serious working capital support, training, logistics aid, for a long time, basically. So if that policy is supposed to succeed beyond just surface level, those are the things that the government is supposed to do.
Okay. Now, looking at how huge share nuts are, looking at the fact that we produce a large chunk of it globally, and there's such a big market for it. What are the derivatives of share nuts, and how do we use share nuts in everyday life? Because some people are like, share nuts, what's that? Or some people think of share butter, but of course, it goes way beyond all that.
Yes. Yes, so like you said, the main product is shea butter, but then that can be refined into three very big industries. We have cosmetics and skincare, we have food, there's also pharmaceuticals, which produces ointments and balms. So yeah, in Nigeria, Nigerians use it every day for cooking, moisturizing, in local soaps. We also have small cosmetic brands that use it. So when we really talk about share, we are talking about the crop that, touches millions and millions of households. So it's a very important crop for the Nigerians.
Mm. Clearly, I mean, there has to be a lot more done in making the
Yeah,
best of what we actually have, using your assets, as it were. But looking at what has happened now, this 6 month ban, it's supposed to have a positive, but there's always a con to every pro. And that's talking about the share node exporters who will definitely be impacted by this particular
yeah.
decision. What do you think that impact will look like for them?
Okay, so the ban started in September, and initially the impact was very severe. Exporters were stuck with so many unsold stock. Small traders saw income collapse. The women in Niger and Kwara states, they seriously complained that their life became harder. But currently, there's a shift happening after a few weeks. According to Business Days reports that recently came out, prices that fell to about 570 naira per kg right after the ban, they've now rebounded to about 1,000 naira per kg because local processors are now stepping in to buy. The
Mm,
produce that's supposed to have been exported, the local processors are now stepping in to
it's
buy
being
those
sold
produce.
locally. Okay. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So some factories that were running below 30% capacity, they are now expanding, which is exactly what the policy hoped to achieve, right? So we are seeing early signs of recovery, but it's very uneven. Rural women that are far from processing hubs and those factories, they're still struggling to sell at very good prices. So we hope that at least the impact will be more positive as time goes on.
Right, right, right. Okay, now picking up on something that you just mentioned, that
Yeah,
the stock that would have been exported is now being bought by local players. Now, looking at the fact
yes.
that local players could have tapped into this, was the ban then a very necessary thing to happen for this to then occur?
Yes, like I said, when you asked me if 6 months is enough for, I said it was not enough, but it causes a disruption in the industry. So that ban was necessary to happen for exporters to at least, because that's where their chunk of their income comes from, right? So
Mm,
exporters need to stop exporting for a while so that they can focus on local processing. Because if people are earning money from exporting share, who would want to sell to local processors that would price lower
right.
than what they
Mm,
sell abroad? So yeah,
yeah. All right, so let's take a more general view of Nigeria's agricultural sector. What do you
okay.
make of the Ahmadu Bello University survey on outputs during the 2025 wet season that showed there has been an increase production-wise?
So yeah, I saw that report and that's very encouraging. Nigeria recorded better yields this wet seasons for especially for staples like rice and maize. So it shows that farmers are adapting and the rainfall patterns has helped. But more harvest does not automatically mean like cheaper food. So unless
Aha.
we fix infrastructural issues like, storage, transport, and especially market access, so we still lose a lot of what we produce before it eventually reaches consumers. So yeah, that's another challenge.
I'm actually glad you answered an on ask question because I was going to ask you that okay, yes, there's more outputs, there's more, this and that, but
Yeah,
would that actually translate to more prosperity food wise for everyone? And of course, all those bottlenecks are still there, and the fact that we're still talking
yes.
about a large chunk of the harvest, being left to waste and everything. I mean, are we going to get to a point where these obvious shortfalls are addressed fully? Because we shouldn't be talking about us having bountiful harvests. We have mangoes and so on and so forth that
Mhm.
go to waste when there's ample opportunity for processing and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
All right, let me see here. Okay, before we wrap it up this morning, just to get your thoughts basically on the outlook for food prices during the upcoming festive season. I mean, is there a
Mm-hmm.
possibility that we see a drop, or is it going to be the usual, oh, festive season, everything goes up?
Okay, so during the recent times, there have been reports that the prices of food items are currently easing in local markets, and that's actually true. We are seeing some short-term relief for, vegetables and grains in some certain regions. However, food inflation is still very high, around 21%. And so we might get a very slight price stability in a few items. But as you
Okay.
know, in Nigeria now, festive season usually drives demand up.
Mm,
So yeah, this time can also push prices higher again. So in simple terms, things are quite better than last year, but not yet comfortable. So we might see a slight increase in food prices for the festive season.
I wonder how slight a slight increase might actually be. Okay, Precious, we need to wrap it up. But before we go, I just need to put this out there and just
Yeah,
pick your brains on this. Looking at what the government is trying to do, 6 month ban is in place. It's supposed to be lifted in February of 2026. Now, let's play
yeah.
hypotheticals here. That's something I like to do. Can
Mm.
we have a situation that by the time February comes around, whatever the government has tried to achieve would not have come to fruition? What happens then?
Uh,
I'm putting you on the
the
spot, I
impact,
know.
yes, the impact would be very severe because thousands of women would have lost a lot of income, and the the share raw materials that are being processed, they would turn to waste
Hmm.
eventually. Then yeah, it would be a big hit for the share industry, definitely. So let's just hope and pray that this opportunity would be taken seriously. That's just it.
That better be taken seriously.
Yes.
This is like a hit or hits, no misses in
No
this
misses.
regard. All right, let me take a message or two here. This is Gilbert Musa, who's in Festa. Good morning to you, Gilbert. He says on the 6 month ban by government on share butter, like Precious said, we need to build legacy infrastructure to maximize the
Yeah,
intended local
exactly.
gains. Personally, I don't support the ban. And the reason is records have shown over time that we don't think through a situation in Nigeria before placing a ban, which many times affects local businesses in terms of sustainable processes in the long term than just immediate, unsustainable short-term profit. I mean, Gilbert makes a very, very
Yeah,
interesting point. We love to make a
right.
decision and then think about, oh, what's the consequence of this decision after, taking
After
it.
decision has been made, yeah.
Right, but let's hope that's not the case here. Cisco Delgado says, good morning to you, Cisco. He says, there's no way prices of food will drop because even cooking gas is 2,000 naira per kg right now. Well, there we are. I haven't had to buy gas yet, but I'm dreading when that actually comes around. We'll see how it all works out. Anyways, we need to call it till morning. It's been a very interesting conversation. Thank you so much to my guest. I've been speaking with Precious BAJOGUN. She is an investment research analyst with P.A.C Research. Precious, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Aya.
All right, have a great Monday and a great start to your week as well.
Same to you too.
All right. Thank you all for being a part of the show this morning. It's been Business Express brought to you by Enter Switch. The Smooth Breakfast will kick on more great music to wake you up and get you going on a Monday, 7:30. In case you don't know or have forgotten, Freshly Pressed will be